Welcome to the Chilling with c.bo podcast. I'm your host, c.bo, and I'm here with my usual co-host, the one and only. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Testing out the new laptop today that I bought over the weekend. So far, doing pretty well.
What type of laptop is it?
MacBook Pro.
MacBook Pro? What did you have before?
MacBook Air.
You and your damn MacBooks.
Hey, dude, I will always and forever return to the Mac. Okay, because
Return of the Mac.
Yeah, man, I know. I try to slide the reference in, but it's efficient, it's reliable, and with all the video projects I work on, I need something heavy duty to really pump in through the rendering and the exporting process, and this baby can really handle it.
What laptop do you have, Pedro? The same thing, MacBook Air.
Yeah, but mine still functions.
I burned the battery. I burned the battery out on my last one.
Damn, what the hell are you doing on it?
Exporting and rendering.
Oh my god.
He works laptops to death.
God damn. But hey, gotta get the most out of it. How much did it cost?
Let's not talk numbers. Let's just say that it was an exorbitant amount that I had to take a good amount of money out of certain places in order to afford.
Hey man, as long as you know that it's worth the investment, then it's all good.
I think it is, honestly. And, I'm looking forward to, continue working on this thing and testing this puppy out because I'm in love with it, honestly. I want to love it and take care of it and cuddle with it and
George.
Watch movies with and on it, just really give it a sensual feel,
Okay, Pedro, man, how you doing, man?
I am doing well. Trying to get them jobs out there and getting ready to go back to school.
All right, awesome. And
but I'm excited about one thing. If I could do something.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
The new DLC for Mortal Kombat 11 with Melina, Rain, and Rambo,
right? Yeah. Oh man, that looks so cool. You guys have Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, what?
We had a version of Mortal Kombat years ago with the PS3. I forgot which one it was. Was it 9, Pedro?
9.
Yeah, we had Mortal Kombat 9 when it came out, but we never. And then we upgraded to Mortal Kombat 10, but we never really played it as much. But we've been keeping track of the characters throughout the years. I remember Pedro mainly wanted to play it because it had Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees in the lineup.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Now they bring Kratos in one of them?
Yeah, he was. He was a pre-order DLC.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. When all the DLC comes out for 11, then I'll buy it.
Okay. So you want to buy the edition with all the DLC in it?
Yeah.
So you probably should just wait till the PS5 version of that game comes out then, if you get a PS5 soon.
That is the plan.
All right, cool. Me, I went on the Poconos this past weekend for a little birthday trip of mine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, wait a minute. Oh my god. Wait, 10, 14. Dude, tomorrow's your birthday.
Yes, tomorrow. Yes, as of this recording, it is the day before my birthday. But whenever this podcast comes out, I will already have turned 26. So yeah.
Dude, happy pre-birthday. What?
Thank you.
Dude, man, and oh my god, I'm 26 years on this earth, man. How do you feel?
It's you know what? I'm doing pretty well, and I hope I can get better. That's pretty much all I want.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I went to the Poconos because for my birthday with some of my close friends, and we went hiking. I saw some beautiful, nice scenery. And then I tried my hand at kayaking. I fell in the water. The water was cold, but and I had to swim my way to the land to get, and I was drying myself off. And another funny story that I had was on one hiking trail, there was a bear on it. Yeah, a bear, and I didn't see the bear. It was like kind of little far off, but it was a black bear that was kind of roaming around. I didn't see it, but three of my friends did. But the second they said bear, I was kind of just running down back to the entrance. I'm like, oh, I'm out.
Dude, you can't run from bears. They'll come after you and eat your face off. Have you learned nothing from Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant?
Well, apparently, if you see a bear on a hiking trail, you just gotta like wait it out. Go back to the entrance and kind of just wait it out, Yeah, and we waited for like a half an hour, then we go back. But yeah, it's a different world out there in the Poconos, but it was beautiful though, especially with all the foliage reaching its peak. It was so beautiful, and I'm like, yeah, I recommend it though. Hiking is a lot of fun, and yeah, I recommend it.
Did you take pictures for the gram?
Yeah, you saw some pictures. Yeah, you saw the pictures I posted.
I meant like more foliage pictures.
I got some foliage pictures.
Oh man, yeah. If Jack was on here, we'd tell him to go out there and get his camera out, man. The photography that he'd get out there would be just magnificent.
It would be stunning.
Yes.
Stunning.
Speaking of being out in the wilderness, we saw a movie that was about being in the wilderness and bad stuff happens, and it was the 19 what year is it from? 1981, I want to say.
1987.
No, this is not.
That can't be that late of an 80s film.
It's definitely that part of the 80s that still looks like the 70s.
Or like maybe 81.
Yes, 81, and it was directed by Sam Raimi, the guy who directed the first three Spider-Man movies, and this was pretty much his first big break, and that is The Evil Dead. We saw The Evil Dead, a cult horror classic that has gotten more famous now than it did in its original release. Now, I guess I'll ask Juan, what did you think of The Evil Dead?
I came in with the expectation that it was going to be a little bit more of a campy movie than it was. I expected more comedic stuff to happen throughout the whole thing. And granted, there were some funny moments that happened. I wrote a couple of them down, and I had some like funny thoughts pop up. Like the first thing that came to mind was where are my notes? Oh, the whole sequence in the back of the car where it goes, well, it might not be that bad. No, it might actually be nice. Yeah, like great dialogue work right there. First of all, and I'm just like, really? That's all you had to set up the scene? It might not be like, what the hell, man? It was like it was literally was the epitome of a bad scene in a cult in a B-rated movie, and then
which just kind of is, to be honest.
Yeah, and like that almost crash scene where they almost hit the car, and just like the cuts from when the car was coming to the reaction shots had me laughing because the reaction shots just look so exaggerated, like or and I'm just like, oh man, I live for this kind of content, I live for the over exaggerated horror movie shots because those always put me at ease. I was not into the whole. I'm not. Spoiler alert! I'm not into the whole plants violating a young lady in the woods part. That was
insane.
Yeah, like, and as we were going through, I kept hoping that Scotty, the asshole dude, would like just die in the most horrific way, because he's just such a prick, man. Like
the way he killed Shelly. So disrespectful.
Yeah, like disembodied her basically, and then
the Shelly was gonna kill him though.
Yeah, and like you just killed your girlfriend. You feel nothing. Who's the real monster in this cabin? But like,
they shouldn't have took that book, and it's
Well, like first off, this is why I refuse to ever go camping because there's always something in the woods. There's always something. C.bo, I'm glad you're back alive, safe and sound, with no bears or spirits following you back. But you will never get me to go out into the woods for more than a day. All right, I will never go to a cabin. I will never sleep under a tent. I won't even be there when the sun sets, man. You will not catch me up in the woods anytime soon.
You should definitely go. You should definitely go camping with me though.
Oh, never.
I'm up for it. I love camping.
Come on. You gotta enjoy nature, man.
Yeah, hiking, fishing.
Like my attitude with scary movies, I am terrifyingly respectful of nature because nature kills, man. Bears and coyotes and wolves. I'm not down for that noise. But that's neither here nor there. My main point, like, I also kept screaming at the screen, like, because all of these people kept doing the stupidest things that you don't expect a real life person to do. Like, first off, if you know they're coming from the woods, why the hell are you standing by the window? All right, and they can easily break it through. Secondly, why do you block the door when there's broken windows all over the house for them to come in easily? It's like, you're stupid. I get that you're scared and you think that's gonna work, but there has to be some semblance of terrified common sense coming through that noggin of yours. And it's funny, Pedro can attest to this. I still was scared of the jump scares and of the scenes. I love the gore. I love the colorful scenes that came out with the maggots and the blood and the ooze and stuff. That was great. I'm not here for the jump scares though, man. I hate the suspense because I'm easily sucked into it, and I'm just not in it, man. I don't want it. I don't like being scared. It's not my vibe. All right. But overall, I can understand why this is a cult classic. Like, I think it's well deserved as a top cult classic horror movie. I think what's his name? The actor?
Bruce Campbell.
I think Bruce Campbell is a national treasure and should be protected for all to adore and love. He should have gotten the role as Mysterio in the Raimi movies. Raimi, I blamed it on you, you son of a gun. And overall, good movie.
What about you, Pedro?
Well, this movie was typically what I expect from an 80s horror movie. Campy, bad effects, horrid acting.
The effects were good though.
But yeah, for the time, it was good. But
You tried claymation, man.
Huh?
You tried doing that level of claymation.
Catfish, this is my time, Pablo. All right, and I'm gonna get to you screaming like a little baby later.
Okay.
But yeah, the suspense and the jump scares are actually well executed for a movie like this. I can see why this is a cult classic and basically like the godfather of modern slasher and horror films like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, this is some pretty pinnacle stuff. Yeah. Like, for the time. And the way that they showed how Bruce Campbell's character's descent into insanity with all the blood around him and killing all the people he loves and cares about. Ugh. It was really well done. But it's just like Pablo, it's like, how could you be so stupid? Why are you standing at the window? Why did you leave the car? Why, if you hear something, do you go check it out? Just step away. And if someone's choking you, by the way, do you have any idea how easy it is to get out of a choke?
Right? I mean, have you been in that situation before?
No, but I can.
Maybe so you can. Yeah.
There's a way to get out of it. Do you know what it is?
What?
You break a finger.
Are you thinking about that at that moment though? That's the thing.
I was thinking about it at the time when I was watching.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say that as a viewer and you not being an active participant in that situation.
It was happening to me. Yeah, I would think of it. Okay, I can't kick this guy off me. He's too heavy. What do? Break a fucking finger.
Yeah.
All right, that's fingers. But I'm getting besides the point. Like there was, this is like the epitome of if you're in a horror movie, you make stupid decisions. Like that Geico commercial said, it's what you do.
Wow.
Oh my God, Pedro with the best take on that one. Bringing
And-
Geico into it. We're not sponsored by Geico,
But yeah, well, like it's just why would directors think it's a good idea to show people making stupid mistakes that get them killed? Like, wouldn't you want uh characters that can actually think rationally about the decisions against monsters like these?
But that's the thing. You've never encountered monsters like these before in your life. How are you supposed to think rationally if it ever happens?
You just take a second and analyze the situation.
A second. They're coming at you. They will kill you.
They have pauses. There were pauses.
The movie built in pauses. In real life, there's no pause. There's no magic click button with Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Oh man.
Well,
So, but you liked it though, right?
I liked it as a grandfather to demonic, gory horror movies. It was pretty good,
All right.
and I can't wait to watch the rest of the series and the remake.
Yeah. As far as what I thought this movie was pretty inspiring, to be honest, because this is just a guy and his friends who raised some money, shot a movie in the woods, and got some special effects people and all that to just make the craziest, goriest movie possible at the time that they're, and whatever the budget allowed to. And when he made, and it's one of the most influential cult horror films ever. And it's just like, wow, that's pretty awesome. Because like that's kind of every filmmaker's dream, They make something and it becomes the way it does, and yeah, and they get so many opportunities because of it. Sam Raimi, he goes on to direct the Godfather of modern superhero films with Spider-Man, the Spider-Man trilogy, and now yeah, and now he's directing Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, which is like, yeah, and none of that would have happened without this movie and without Bruce Campbell and as well. Bruce Campbell's this cult icon, who does these cameos in the Spider-Man movies as well. And it's just insane how everything just comes full circle like that. And yeah, in terms of this movie was, for the time, man, it's pretty incredible what they were able to do on such a shoestring budget. And yeah, like even though this movie kind of looks cheap, it still has a cinematic flair to it that I kind of really appreciate, where it's like they knew what they were doing. Like, and then, I can't imagine watching this for the first time the early 80s with how gory everything was. I mean, yeah, sure. The claymation stuff is very noticeable today, obviously, but like back then it was probably like, whoa, this is insane. Yeah, some of the gore stuff is so like freaking gnarly, man. Like, wow, like, and it was really cool. And in terms of the remake, I actually saw that movie when it came out in theater with a lot of my friends, and it was one of the goriest movies I've ever seen in my life, and it's definitely more serious than this movie. So that movie's insane. Yeah.
Tell me, is Bruce Campbell in the remake? Like a small?
He makes one like a post-credit cameo.
What did he come? Okay, no more.
Yeah. But yeah, I really dug this movie. It's funny because I've never seen the second one, and apparently, like everyone says, like the second one is like one of the best horror sequels ever that mixes comedy and horror masterfully. And so now I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta see the second one now. Like,
can we see it for this week?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
All right. Well, let's do that. All right,
Yes.
We already have a movie. This is the first time we're doing an original and sequel in consecutive weeks.
Yes. So The Evil Dead 2 for next week's podcast, it's on Hulu, so we're good.
Awesome. Well, I still want like a real horror movie for Pablo.
Well, we have until the week after for you to see me crap my pants, Pedro. So.
All right.
Yes.
If you want to, you're gonna be next to it, and you're gonna smell it, and I'm gonna shove it up your nose, and then choke you just to see you try to break out of it.
yeah, when watching this movie and knowing about the second one, how much people like really like that movie, I'm like, all right, move over, Adam Sandler. We're watching The Evil Dead 2.
Yep. Sorry, Adam, but Bruce has you beat.
Yeah, this time though.
And when we're doing Christmas movies, we'll consider you.
Does he have a Christmas movie?
Yeah, he's got like 100. He's got like what, 3?
Does he?
Yeah, remember the nice guy one?
Oh, which one?
Wait, what?
The one where he has a black foot.
Oh, Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds. Is that a Christmas movie though, or does it have just Christmas in it?
It's a holiday theme. It's a holiday-esque movie because it takes place in the winter and it's supposed to exemplify the kindness of the holidays and just being a good person without being corruptible.
And Winona Ryder's in it as well.
That too. And also the guy who is super fast.
Yes. But we're not talking about Christmas yet. But yeah. Yeah, so any more thoughts on The Evil Dead before we move on? Or
I can't wait for the sequel.
yeah. All right, cool. We all like The Evil Dead. We're watching the second one back to back. The first time on Chilling with c.bo.
We're making milestones here.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So in the beginning of this week, the Lakers won the NBA championship in 6 games. And LeBron officially has 4 championships under his belt from 3 different franchises. That has never been done for a player that has been the best player on each team. And I gotta say, LeBron, gets my respect, and I'm very glad that he won his 4th ring. And I'm on the camping trip. I made it a point to be, we gotta watch the games, when they come on, and we did. Yeah, so, but I gotta say though, Jimmy Butler also earns my respect as well, because that Game 5 performance was absolutely incredible, and he made it a fact that he's one of the top 5 best players in the league right now, and I'm cheering for him to get his ring as well one of these days if he gets the right if the Miami Heat make the right moves during the offseason. So Juan, what did you think of LeBron James finally winning his 4th ring?
First off, if he even stays with the Heat, all right? Because let's be honest, Butler's a journeyman. He's an effective and a spectacular journeyman, but has often been cited for behavioral issues with the teams. He got kicked out of the Timberwolves. He didn't mesh with the 76ers. And then Miami was supposed to be his just like another pit stop for him. And then they ended up going to the finals, which no one expected.
Nobody.
Nobody. Tyler Herro, that guy just popped up out of nowhere.
And Duncan Robinson as well.
I'm concentrating more on his core. Very rarely do you feel like there's a young core and it's relative young, because what's Butler, like 27?
No, he's like 30 now. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a relatively young core. You still have Andre Iguodala, who is still, he works well in a backup role, but still is effective when he gets minutes on the court. But how do I explain this? I believe the Heat have the capacity to make another run here, although it might be an underrated run, kind of like what this year was. They'll be middle of the pack for most of the season, but they'll find a way to pull up in the clutch with Jimmy Buckets, just pulling off these impressive performances. And you're right, c.bo. Jimmy Butler has etched himself a legacy in the NBA. All right. He was mired by his attitude problems and his accusations of being a bad teammate, but let it not be said that he never put effort out on the court. Again, and even in that Game 5, in that Game 5, where it was a triple double on a 50 points.
I think it was 38 points. He had 40 points. I think when he won that. Yeah, sorry.
Nevertheless, that picture of him keeled over on a border next to the rim, down on the opposite side of the court, that's going to forever show that is hard work mentality. That is someone who wants and desires a win, man. And I believe Jimmy Butler will get his win, but I don't think it's going to be in Miami. They'll make another run, but it won't be in Miami. But let's go over to the Lakers side, man. First off, RIP Kobe Bryant. this championship was for you and your daughter, man. Like LeBron and AD said as much as they were accepting the trophies, and a lot of league names and big household names finally get their rings, and of course you know who I'm talking about in that situation.
Alex Caruso.
I mean yes, but I'm talking about the
Everyone was waiting for that.
no, not Alex Caruso. I'm talking about the other guy, the former Orlando Magic player Dwight Howard. What?
Superman.
Yeah. Like Dwight Howard was always like for 8 years when he was with Orlando, you know, he just couldn't get them over the hump. He couldn't surpass. I think it was the Mavericks that he went against in 2010.
No, in 2010 he was still on the Magic.
Yeah, but he went up. Yeah, but with the Magic made the.
No, he in 09 he lost to the Lakers in the finals.
So not only did he, you know, win a championship in Orlando, but he did it with the very team that beat his team in the 09 NBA.
No, he never won a championship with Orlando.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like he won it in Orlando, his former city.
No, he never. No, because he lost against the Lakers in 09, the NBA Finals.
No. See, but what I'm saying is like he won this year's championship.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you're right. That didn't even I didn't even connect that. Yeah.
So he won this year in Orlando.
His former team that he was best known for. Yes.
Exactly, and he won it with the very team that beat him in 09.
Yes.
Like. And it wasn't even his first stint with Los Angeles. It was his second.
Yes.
Like that's just ridiculous, man. Like, it's kind of like I don't know if this is a fair comparison, but Dwight Howard is kind of like what was the name of a former Fab Five member that was with the Lakers?
Chris Webber, that he wasn't on the Lakers. Jalen Rose is not on the Lakers. Juwan Howard was not on the Lakers.
Yeah, there you go. It's like Juwan Howard when he won with the Lakers back in the Kobe days. Like
no, he won with the Heat actually.
No, he won with the Lakers too.
No, it was the Heat. He won with the Heat, but he was just about to retire though, so he wasn't playing.
But that makes my point though.
Yeah.
Like Dwight Howard was a minimal coming off the bench kind of player in rotation for the Lakers, just like what's his name again?
Juwan Howard.
Juwan Howard. Like you know, he didn't make an impact. He was a big name player, but he didn't make much of an impact. And dude, I heard this throughout the playoffs, and it took me having to watch it to see it happen. Playoff Rondo is a real thing.
Yeah.
And it is just spectacular, man. It is coming in the clutch when he's needed. It's being able to take on those one-on-ones and just shoot out of the perimeter. Rondo was just on fire throughout the playoffs, man. And low-key deserves some recognition for like playoff MVP if there ever was an award for it. You hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, he played like 2010 Rondo in the Celtics. Yeah, he definitely had a resurgence throughout his stint with the Lakers this year, and yeah, it was really fun to see that. In terms of Dwight Howard, man, it's insane, man, because even if he never won this ring, he still would have been a Hall of Famer just for the stats he put up for the first half of his career, because the first half of his career is absolutely insane when you look at the numbers and everything that he accomplished. But this ring kind of just solidifies it. And it's insane how he was just a lost cause till this year, pretty much. He was just a journeyman who constantly got kicked out of teams. And now, you know, LeBron probably sat him down and was like, yo, you better get your act together or you're not gonna have a job ever again after this. And look at him now, yeah.
But my only issue with Dwight Howard is that he had to join a team to get a ring. He wasn't a leading member, you know? And you know,
you can't to get the things you want, it's sometimes you gotta kinda have to, you know, do it in a way that, you know, you know what I'm saying?
But like, let me ask you. I forgot. I read this somewhere on Twitter. There's like a guy on the Lakers who won with he won with the Lakers this year, the Raptors the year before, and
Danny
the
Green.
Danny Green.
Yes.
How lucky do you have to be?
Yeah, he went with the Spurs with Kawhi, Toronto with Kawhi, and now in the Lakers with LeBron.
Was it with the Spurs? I thought it was.
Yeah,
with,
it was in 2014. He won
I
with
thought
the
it was with the
Spurs.
Warriors.
No, he wasn't on the Warriors.
Oh wow, I had my stats wrong. But yeah, like how lucky do you have to be, man? That you had both Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James on your teams and won championships with both of them.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. That someone can have that much luck where other guys can play so many years and it's never gonna ring. I love Steve Nash. Trying to think.
Melo.
Melo. Oh man, Melo. Did you know that like actually the Lakers actually have a Syracuse alum on that team? They actually like only like well, I forget his name, but he was like the second ever Syracuse basketball player to ever win an NBA championship.
Whoa, which one? Do you know?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll look it up later. But right now, let me say one thing though. I want to ask you. The Lakers going forward though, like they acquired Anthony Davis. It was basically a 1 year deal off from the Pelicans. After the, do you think they can keep the core intact, or is it just?
Yeah, Anthony Davis is definitely gonna resign. As if you saw like the celebration stuff, LeBron and AD are pretty much like brothers. Like they had so much adoration for each other, and that does not seem like they want to separate. And they're definitely going for two for this time. You know, they definitely
But
want the repeat.
But it wasn't enough but just earning the championship isn't enough to make someone stay. Look at Kawhi. He won
Yeah.
it with the Raptors, and he left Toronto to join the.
Yeah, because Kawhi wanted to go home though, but Anthony Davis has always wanted to go to the Lakers. That's the thing. That was all. If you're a fan, you know people have known for like years now that AD had desire to go to Los Angeles.
Okay, so then in that case,
He's gonna get his big payday this offseason. He's gonna get that 200 mil.
I don't know if it'll be from the Lakers though.
Yeah, I'd keep him. He's one of the biggest reasons why they got the chip.
I keep him too, but I'm gonna try to register it on a discount though, man, because there's already LeBron James taking up a good portion of the salary cap. Like adding Davis in, would be beneficial, but then you wouldn't be able to spend that much in free agency.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let me see.
You're not going to keep Dwight Howard. He's an aging veteran. He should be retired during the off season. Danny Green, how long came in from trade or he?
Yeah, they're getting rid of him. Yeah.
He's gone to. How are you going to keep Alex Caruso, like long term? Maybe because he's showing up good talent.
So LeBron's current contract is 4 years, 154, and the fourth year is a player option.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has one more year before the player option happens.
It's still going to take up a good portion of the salary cap, and if you try to invest if like let's say Anthony Davis signs a similar, if not greater, deal with the Lakers.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee LeBron stays forever, so you only for the 1 more year, and there's also the fact that you're signing a good portion of the cap to just 2 players.
I mean, those 2 players are kind of the reason why you got the ring.
True, but you can't just pay 2 superstars and expect to win a chip the next year. That's not how it works.
Well, this free agency is definitely going to be this offseason free agency is definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, Vegas has the Nets as the top NBA Finals contender, so.
Yeah, but we're not favored enough,
Well, take it as you will, man. Pedro.
But we haven't said anything about LeBron, man. What about you? What are your thoughts on LeBron's 4th title, man?
Me or Pedro?
You.
Okay. Well,
we said so much about other players besides LeBron.
LeBron is a special kind of player, man. How do you lead 3 teams to 4 chips, man? Like, it is absolutely astounding the work he was able to pull off. First, he built a super team in Miami and won 2 back-to-backs. That's hard enough as it is to do to win 1, let alone 2. Then he went back to Cleveland and brought them into prosperity once again. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. He went no.
No,
Wait.
4 times.
4 times. He
4
went
straight times to the finals with 1 win.
NBA final trips. All right. Granted, you had some disgruntled players with Kyrie, and he left for Boston after that. But in any case, LeBron proved that he that his legacy is secured in basketball. Legend. All right, he is a goat. He is a goat. He's not the goat because there's no such thing as the goat because there's different eras for different players, and there's and each one has their own version of a goat. LeBron is the goat of the 2010 era. The 2000s belong to Kobe. The 90s belong to MJ. The 80s belong also to MJ.
And no, to Magic and Bird.
Magic and Bird.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a good mix between MJ and Bird.
But MJ got better in the 90s, though. That's what I'm saying.
All right. I'll concede to that. But I'm still making the case that I'm tired of the Michael Jordan and LeBron James debates. They're totally different. For the guys that say that Michael Jordan never had to build a super team, no, he didn't, because he already had it. All right, Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, and you had a GOAT head coach. This I can say is a coach of all time. Phil Jackson, greatest coach of all time. He didn't need to build the super team during his time there because he already had it. Yep. So it really didn't make. So your argument, therefore, is invalid.
And it's 2 different eras of 2 different styles of plays, different styles of plays, and different players overall.
Not to mention, LeBron has had to play with different casts of characters every time. All right, he had Dwayne Wade in Miami. He had Kyrie in Cleveland. He had Anthony Davis in
Lakers. Yeah.
Is Lakers. If you want to really say who a GOAT is, as in it's only a sole player that can take a team to an NBA Finals win, there's only one that comes to mind for me, in my opinion. It's Dirk Nowitzki when he took the Mavericks to win in 2010.
Yeah. But this is all to say that there's a lot of great players in the NBA, and that sure. That LeBron and MJ are always in the conversation, but there's so many others, man. There's a lot of great players, man, that have done a lot of amazing things.
It makes me sad. I never get into basketball until after Game 4, because that's when it's the most interesting.
Okay.
Series games don't matter if the game if there's no really major investment in it. Like in the NFL, it's a one and done. You lose the game, you're gone. Over in basketball and hockey and baseball, it's all series games, and you don't want to tune in for so many of those. It gets kind of repetitive after a while.
Yeah, it's different types of games.
You have your thoughts. I have mine.
Pedro, do you have any quick thoughts on LeBron and the Lakers? I know you're not that big on basketball, but you have to have some thoughts on this.
Give the guy a break. Jeez. He's his own person. Quit comparing him to other players. All right? They had their time. Now this is his time. If you're going to keep harping about it, then, shut up. That's all I got to say.
Nice. All right. You have any more thoughts on the current NBA and anything? Or Juan?
I just want to say, before we jump into the NFL, if the NBA can manage a bubble, first off, I'm gonna say this forever. Adam Silver is the GOAT sports commissioner, man. He is the GOAT sports commissioner. He's handled not only football operations and the basketball operations in the NBA in a way that no one else has, and he's also made free agency not just like a typical transaction, but a spectacle for fans to enjoy every year. But the fact that he was able to organize a bubble system to keep the league and players safe from the virus, quarantined, and force good restrictions on everyone there is astounding, and it's something I can't imagine any other commissioner being capable of doing, especially Roger Goodell.
Yeah, Adam Silver deserves a lot of praise, and he gets a lot of respect from me, and hope he's running the NBA for the years to come.
He's going to Nazareth, I think.
He's going to what?
The NBA Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, to be fair, making the NBA Hall of Fame isn't that hard.
I mean, yeah, but like at the same time, making any Hall of Fame is pretty hard though.
Yeah.
You have to be a really bad player, coach, or commissioner to not make it in the NBA Hall of Fame.
Yeah. All right. Before we go on to football, I just want to make a little announcement. I am gonna be making a series of video editorials for this channel, for the Christopher Bajorquez YouTube channel. It's called 13 Nights of Halloween. For every night, there's a different review of a horror movie until Halloween. Yeah, and it'll start on October 19th. Yes.
And
yeah.
What's the first movie on your list?
You'll just have to find out.
Tune in, find out.
Yeah. But I will say I saw all these movies in September, 13 movies in September, and I gotta say it's definitely a variety of movies. You'll see one movie and then another movie you'll be like, wait, what? How did you get that from that? Like, so yeah, I literally have to make a list of like over 100 horror movies, and I put them in a hat, and I chose 13 at random. So so it's all random movies from all types of years and filmmakers, and yeah.
13 a lucky number for you?
Well, yeah, it's there's always that 13 Nights of Halloween type of thing, like yeah.
Are you gonna do 12 movies on Christmas?
No, because to me there's more horror movies than there are Christmas movies.
You'd be surprised what Hallmark can pump out.
Yeah, but I feel like the quality. There's a drop off in quality when comparing horror movies to Christmas movies.
Okay, I can see to your point.
Yeah, but maybe I'll do like two Christmas movies, for Eve and Christmas.
Sounds good in the hood, homie.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just So by the time next week when we're doing the next podcast, you will probably have seen the first video. Yes.
And then we'll talk about it on the next podcast. Which one was my favorite? Because I will watch all of them.
Well, there'll only be one out by that time our next podcast comes out.
Well, then that'll be my favorite.
Yeah. But so it's gonna be a lot of fun, and just wanted to announce that. So yeah, it's for all my 2 viewers out there, that's something to look forward to, and more content on the channel.
Let's go.
All right, so I guess we're gonna go on to the last topic, which is the NFL. So, and I guess the biggest news to come out of the weekend. I did not watch much NFL this weekend because I was in the Poconos, but obviously, Juan, you cover that stuff. So yeah, did you have any? The biggest news that even I heard about was Dak Prescott. He played a game against the Giants. Apparently, he was doing really well from the highlights I was watching. But he broke his ankle, and now he is out for the remainder of the season in a contract year. Now, Juan, what did you think about all this that happened again with Dak Prescott during the Giants game?
First off, I want to give a big F you to that fat bastard Eagles fan on YouTube who made a video not only celebrating Dak Prescott's injury, but also telling the Cowboys to suck it and to know how it feels because of how they make fun of Carson Wentz for always being injury prone. That is classless, that is idiotic. You're a 40-year-old man with a YouTube channel who can't maintain a personality he started. Go home, man.
Damn. Yeah, that is classless, man. What were you thinking, man? You never celebrate anybody's injury. Like, come on.
I hate him so much. I'm not even gonna give him the satisfaction of his name just so he doesn't get the clicks. But about Dak's injury, how ironic is it that first this injury happens the day that Alex Smith, who suffered a near life-threatening injury himself 2 years ago on his leg, comes back and plays for the Washington football team. And then Dak goes down with a similar type of injury, a compound fracture. And for people that don't understand what that is, a compound fracture is when the part of your body that suffers the injury, the bone pops out of the skin.
Oof.
Yes.
Oof.
So it's broken, the skin is torn, and at risk for infection. All right, and Dak got brought into the hospital for same-day surgery to suture up the wound and put a rod in his foot to maintain stability.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Second, you know what? I've had nothing but absolute admiration and respect for Dak Prescott ever since he came into the league in 2016. I hate the Cowboys. I say that with a passion. I hate the Cowboys, but I love Dak Prescott.
Okay.
He is everything that a leader and a great man should be. He is devout to his faith. He is charitable to people with special needs. His mother died of cancer before he was drafted in 2016. His brother committed suicide earlier this year, and he's been advocating for mental health awareness since the season started. You can't find a better man to lead America's team like that. You know, you can't. And yet to see all the slander come down on him, Skip Bayless mocked him for admitting that he suffered from depression in the 2019 season. Like, wow. You're a self-proclaimed Cowboys fan, Skip Bayless? Get out of here. But back to what I'm trying to say. Dak Prescott is a hell of a human being. He's a great man. He's a great player. He was making the case this year to be third in MVP votes behind Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. And now all of that's gone because of this injury. Not only that, he was negotiating a long-term deal with the Cowboys, but it never accumulated. So he signed on the franchise tag, which is just a one-year deal of non-guaranteed money. And now that money is in jeopardy of being lost. Sure, it's a $30 million payout for him on the 1 year, but none of it's guaranteed. All right, it's a 1 year tender, and the Cowboys could decide that he can't stay healthy on the field, so they could just let him go because of an injury history. And that is honestly sad for a guy like Dak Prescott to go through. It's heartbreaking because he's a good player, a good leader, a good friend, a good man. And he's just had to endure so much, so much crap from the media, so much hatred from football experts, so much doubt from analysts and scouts, and the fact that he had to suffer this injury, which basically puts his career on a teeter-totter, is just depressing to see. And I hope that he gets better. I hope that he comes back and tears open the record books. And I hope that Jerry Jones does the right thing and signs Dak Prescott to the deal that he deserves. Because despite a 1-4 record this year, Dak Prescott was the reason that the Cowboys were even in the conversation of a game in the first place. He kept them in the game all the time. He threw for 1,200 yards and I think about 12 to 13 touchdowns in just 5 games. The only other kind of production that can be that someone can match is Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. No one else can match that. So Dak Prescott deserves some respect. He deserves his money, and he deserves to be on the Dallas Cowboys for years to come. If not, at least give him a glowing recommendation so that he can come back to Jerry's World and kick Cowboy ass.
Wow. I'm glad you said all that about Dak. Made me realize how important he is to the league right now, and hope he gets better. Pedro, you have any thoughts on Dak and his injury and all that?
I wanted to say something that when we heard about the whole depression thing, my brother and I, we got to have a discussion about it. I probably remember this.
I do.
But football, as anything, is a business. You need to be at top level. Otherwise, you risk ruining business. I get it that you've been through so much pain and that you've been through a lot, and I feel for you. But Dak Prescott, my man, it's a cruel and rough game. And it's a survival of the fittest kind of thing. And if you're not the fittest, you can't play. So I wish you luck in your recovery, and I hope that when you recover, you can play the good game of football. But just don't be surprised if things don't turn your way. Football, like life, is brutal, and you have to watch out for the twists and turns that come with it, both literal and figurative.
I have a comprehensive list of NFL owners that I cannot stand, and Jerry Jones is in like the top 5 of that list. Because he's cheap. He takes care of his players, but not really. He built with his ego instead of from the advice of his draft scouts. Granted, he's built a pretty good team, but the coaching staff that he surrounds the talent with is mediocre, to say the very least. And
yeah, I don't know how Jason Garrett was there for like 10 years. That's insane.
Exactly, like that's out of pure loyalty, and
the Giants hiring him is even more hilarious. It's like, wow.
They did it just to try to sneak a win or two out from the Cowboys, but that's neither here nor there. But like the worst thing about Jerry Jones is the fact that he built AT&T Stadium over by kicking people out of their homes, tearing down said homes, and building the stadium on top of the land.
Jesus.
Yep.
Wow. What's Jerry Jones's business? Like, what does he do?
He's an oil tycoon.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. Dallas, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like, he's on my top 5. Rounding up the list would be Dan Snyder at number 1 for the Washington football team.
Yeah, okay.
Chris Johnson, the owner of the New York Jets.
Okay.
Dean Spanos of the Chargers, and Stan Kroenke with the Rams.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So what do the Rams and Chargers owners do?
Rams Kroenke tried to swindle a lot of taxpayer money out of St. Louis to build a new stadium for the Rams, and that was really just his attempt of having an excuse to leave St. Louis to go into the LA market to make more money over there. Only issue is there's no one wants football out in Los Angeles. He bought him out anyways, so that's number 1. And with the Chargers one, it was the same reason, but he did it to San Diego, a community that absolutely adores football and adores the Chargers so much. But he was cheap on renovations. He overcharged for seating and parking, and when the Chargers moved to LA, they didn't have any fans. It was in a soccer stadium, and away teams had more fans than the Chargers did. So they were playing 16 road games a week.
Jesus.
I know. And I don't want to get started on the Jets one, because honestly, the management of this team is criminal enough, and Dan Snyder can go himself.
Wow. So this is like this football talk this week was a lot of you getting things off your chest.
It's a lot of the NFL. As obsessed as I am with this game and with this sport and with this league, I have my issues with a lot of it.
Yeah. Who was the Giants?
Huh?
Who was the Giants?
Maras. They're considered football royalty. They've done a pretty good job of maintaining, steady Big Blue success.
Okay.
I respect it a lot.
But obviously the last since 2012, it's been rough.
Yeah. No, the only team that doesn't have an official owner are the Packers, right, Pedro?
Exactly.
Yep.
Who owns the Packers?
They're owned by the people.
Really?
Shareholders in Green Bay.
Shareholders in Green Bay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, fans can literally be a minority owner.
That's awesome.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Pedro, why don't you get a share?
It's expensive and they're limited, and the Packers fans tend to be much more familial in that they pass down their stock to the next of kin.
Damn.
Yeah.
But say if you want to get a Packers stock, how much would you have to pay?
Last time I checked, a single stock was about $325.
$325 or $1,000? Oh, I mean, just ask your mom for some stock.
Good luck trying to find one, man. But but before we move on, I kind of want to just address one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, c.bo and I are in a fantasy league together, and this week we played, and he beat me silly. in this game. It was 112 I scored to 136 that you scored, man. Kyler Murray saved your butt, man. 380 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Josh Allen hasn't even played tonight, and I swear I'm going to get smacked across the face tonight when he plays.
It's funny because I have Julio Jones, and he hasn't played for a couple of weeks because he's been injured.
I know.
Yeah.
But like you assembled a great lineup. You went from not knowing what you were doing 2 years ago to being the top of the league in this one. And dude, first off, nothing but respect and pride for you. I'm proud of you. As a football head and someone who I try to tout myself as a fantasy guy, and I have a winning record across the board. Congrats to you. I'm very happy for you. But also,
well, to be fair, this isn't the most serious league. It's just kind of just some of my friends that I know from online and stuff like that. Yeah.
How many leagues are you in?
Just one. That's it.
Oh.
But this is like the only league I do because it's a chill league, you know. So some leagues are cutthroat and they'll like, it's like yeah.
Bro.
When it comes to fantasy.
In my company fantasy league, I'm in 6 leagues. 2 of them are with my Inside the Hashes group.
Yeah.
We have a weekly ranking system. So far, the first 3 weeks of the season, the first 4 weeks of the season, I was number 1. Sorry, in the first 3 weeks, I was number 1. Then in the 4th week, I lost, and it dropped me to number 2.
But how many people are in that league though? That's the thing.
12.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. What's the biggest league you're in?
All of them are 12.
All of them are 12. Okay. Have you ever done like a 30-man league? That'd be like insane.
There's not enough players. There's not. Never put me in a 30 team league. I will never participate in that because I guarantee you I will miss out on so many good players and my rosters will be decimated.
Yeah.
The smaller and more condensed, the better the entertainment.
Yeah. All right. So how did the Packers do that this past weekend?
I'll let Pedro address that. Pedro! You're on mute, bro.
They haven't played this week.
Oh.
They were on a bye, right?
They're on a bye? Okay. Like I said, I was out, so I didn't know. Yeah, so.
Well, so you want to know something funny, c.bo? Like, so your Giants, who are they playing this coming week?
They lost the Cowboys this past weekend. I know that. Who were they playing?
Dak Prescott's loss.
Yes. Giants schedule. Let's see. They are playing the Washington football team this Sunday.
You should win that game, but I'm kind of low key hoping you don't, just because I want Alex Smith to get his win.
I don't think I want Giants to win any game, to be honest. Like they should just fucking. What's the word? Tank. Yeah.
At this point, I don't want the Jets to tank too much, but I want them to tank just enough to miss out on a number 1 overall pick because
they'll try to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I know they'll try to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Damn.
In current draft projections, the Giants are set to draft Trevor Lawrence.
Oof. Damn.
Yep. And Daniel Jones went from here to there.
I don't think Daniel Jones is a bad quarterback. That's the thing.
Neither do I, but he's in a bad team.
Yeah. But what is Trevor Lawrence gonna do with this bad team? That's the thing.
But here's the thing. Joe Burrow's on a horrific team, and he's succeeding. So, what's the excuse? Exactly.
But what's the Bengals' record right now?
1-3-1.
Whoa, Pedro, what are you watching, man?
Turn off the head tie.
I don't think you hear. Yo, Pedro. Yeah, you're watching something.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, was it Japanese?
It was an ad. Sorry. Yeah. I'm trying to get to a football video.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to look for news about the injuries from the Packers so I could contribute.
Oh, go ahead, man. Just mute yourself, and then when you want to say something, come back.
Okay.
But yeah, no, dude, the Jets are facing the Chargers this weekend. Did you see Justin Herbert last night?
Nah, but I saw that it was a close game. Yes.
Dude, he threw for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And
but the Saints still lost. I mean, not the Saints still won. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like but the Jets are not the Saints. All right, far from it, man. This is gonna be a walk in the park for Justin Herbert.
Are the Chargers you think going to make the playoffs?
The Chargers are not going to make the playoffs now. I think they're going to be a 7-9 team at the end of it, with a lot of hope in the future for the franchise. And I just feel bad for Tyrod Taylor, man. Like, first off,
That guy's had a bad break, man.
I mean, think about what he's been through in his career. He was a backup to Joe Flacco in 2012, won the Super Bowl with them. Finally get the starting chance with Buffalo, only to get benched and kicked out for Josh Allen. Well, first Nathan Peterman, then Josh Allen. And he led Buffalo to the first postseason break in 20 years. And that's the thanks he gets? Pathetic. And then he goes to Cleveland to try to take the starting job. And who do the Browns draft? Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Who takes his job after he suffers an injury in week 3 against the Jets. Ironic. And never.
I remember that game. Baker Mayfield was like lighting it up. Like.
Yep. And then he goes to Los Angeles, is a backup to Phillip Rivers for 1 year. Rivers leaves. Tyrod finally gets his chance, and then the Chargers draft Justin Herbert 6th overall. Then Tyrod wins his first game. And that's not to keep Herbert on the bench. But then the Chargers team doctor, punctures his lung.
Oh yeah.
Injects him with a painkiller. And he's been out for 4 straight weeks. And, as much as I would have appreciated Anthony Lynn to let Tyrod keep his starting job when he would come back, you had to keep Herbert in there, man. You had to. All right? The man's been nothing but stellar when he performs.
Yeah, he almost had Breeze last night. He had him on the ropes.
If it wasn't for the fact that Michael Badgley is a terrible kicker, the Chargers would have won that game.
Yeah.
So
the Chargers have a bright future.
They have a bright future, but knowing that the team is owned by Dean Spanos and they've had a history of incompetence since the late 80s, I don't have a lot of hopes for this team going forward.
Damn.
All right, Pedro, what was your...
Pedro, do you have anything? I'm sorry, me and Juan kind of had some pent-up hot takes,
That's okay. I'm just happy Devontae Adams is at practice, which means he may come back.
It's funny? Like, prior to the Falcons game, like, he tweeted that, sorry, guys, I'm not going to be out because the team doesn't think I'm healthy enough, is basically what he tweeted out. And then he had to delete that tweet because they were like, dude, what are you doing?
But I am kind of worried, though. They're facing Brady next on Sunday.
Wait, that's a good team. Oh man, that's a good game.
Versus Tom Brady. Tom Brady's coming off a loss against Nick Foles, dude.
He's pissed.
Oh yeah, but the Packers defense, I don't know if it's better or worse than the Bears defense. I'd say it's about the same. But it's gonna be
dirty.
It's gonna be really interesting, man. I'm looking forward to that one. That's my game of the week next week.
All right.
Problem is it's at 4:25, so we don't know if it's going to be on Fox or we have to watch it on Red Zone.
I'm sure that's a game that'll be that's gonna be the game of the what's it called? America's Game? Yeah. Where it's nationally televised. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have Troy Aikman and what's the name of that guy?
Joe Buck.
Yeah, Joe Buck.
Yeah.
Who's now a Hall of Famer. Congrats, Joe Buck.
Yay, Joe Buck. Wait. Yeah.
Congratulations to Joe Buck. He's now in the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a broadcaster.
Nice. Yeah. No, he's good. I like Joe Buck.
I mean, a lot of people hate on him.
Yeah.
I'll never get
I like him better than Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman's his partner, dude.
Well, exactly. But anyway, I think this is the end of our podcast. We had Juan, you definitely had a lot of pent up stuff to say, but I'm glad you got it out, man.
I apologize, but thank you.
Yes, and yeah. You guys have anything else to say before we go?
So I'm looking forward to Evil Dead 2, and that c.bo. I can't wait for you to launch your 13 days of Halloween movie series. I'm really looking forward to that too.
Yes. All right, cool. Pedro, you have any last thoughts before we head out?
Sure. Invite us to one of your movie nights. That way we can see. You can see Pablo's scaredy face in real life.
I will smack you.
All right, guys. It's always a pleasure, and we'll be back next week.
Peace out.
Later.
You never see it coming. You'll be dinner and face around. God,